Welcome back to Rise with Henry, the podcast where we turn life's toughest lessons into stepping stones for a better future. I'm Henry, and every Thursday we have honest conversations about resilience, personal growth, rebuilding your life, and becoming the person you're capable of being. First of all, thank you for coming back. Seriously, every week you choose to spend a little bit of your time listening to me, and I don't take that for granted. At this point, we're on episode 5, which means one of two things. Either you're really enjoying this podcast, or you've accidentally left Spotify on autoplay. Either way, I'm genuinely grateful you're here. If you've listened to the last 4 episodes, you'll know we've been on quite the journey together. We've talked about mistakes, alcohol, rock bottom, rebuilding your life, and today, we're going to talk about the one thing that's been quietly standing in the background through every single one of those episodes: fear. Now, there's no membership fee to be part of the Rise with Henry family, no monthly subscription, and don't worry, I'm not about to ask you to buy a course for $999 or promise you'll become a millionaire by next Tuesday. If I knew how to do that, I'd probably be recording this from my own private island. The only requirement here is that you're willing to grow. You're willing to be honest with yourself, and you're willing to keep getting back up when life knocks you down. Because if you're anything like me, you're still a work in progress. I know I am. I'm still the King Kong of mistakes. I've just become a little more experienced at surviving them. And that's what this podcast is really about. Not pretending to have all the answers, but learning from life, growing through the setbacks, and helping each other rise. So, let's talk about fear. I think fear is one of the most misunderstood things in life. Most people think fear is the enemy. I don't. Fear is just trying to protect you. The problem is, it doesn't know the difference between danger and growth. To fear, applying for a new job feels dangerous. Starting a business feels dangerous. Writing a book feels dangerous. Starting a podcast feels dangerous. Walking up to someone you admire and introducing yourself feels dangerous. Fear reacts to all of them as if you're about to wrestle a crocodile. And honestly, some of us react the same way. Have you ever noticed how creative your brain becomes when you're scared? Someone doesn't reply to your text for 3 hours, and suddenly you've written an entire Netflix series. Episode 1, they're ignoring me. Episode 2, they're upset with me. Episode 3, they've blocked me. Season 2, they've changed their phone number, moved overseas, and started a new life just to avoid me. Then they finally reply, "Sorry, I was in a meeting." That's it. That's the whole story. Meanwhile, your brain has won an Academy Award for Best Drama. Fear has an incredible imagination. Unfortunately, it usually writes fiction. Here's one sentence I want you to remember from today's episode. Fear has a microphone. Wisdom usually whispers. Fear is loud. It says, "What if you fail? What if they laugh at you? What if they laugh at you? What if you're not good enough? What if you embarrass yourself?" Wisdom quietly says, "Take one step. Make the phone call. Apply anyway. Start before you feel ready. Trust yourself. You'll figure it out." The problem is, most of us spend our lives listening to the loudest voice, not the wisest one. Lesson number 1. Fear is a terrible fortune teller. Fear loves predicting the future. The problem is, it's usually wrong. Fear told me people would laugh if I started this podcast. Fear told me nobody would listen. Fear told me I wasn't interesting enough. Fear told me I'd run out of things to say after 2 episodes. To be fair, There are still days I sit in front of the microphone thinking, all right, Henry, you've got 5 minutes to figure this out. But somehow, we're here. Episode 5. Fear also told me not to write my book. It said, "Who do you think you are? What qualifies you to write a book?" Then I asked myself something. Who made fear the expert? Seriously, fear has never written a book. Fear has never built a business. Fear has never repaired a relationship. Fear has never changed anyone's life. Yet somehow, we keep asking fear for advice. That's like asking someone who's never cooked a meal to judge a cooking competition, or asking your mate who's always late for time management advice. Actually, maybe don't do that. Fear has an opinion. It just doesn't always deserve your attention. So let me ask you something. What has fear been talking you out of? A conversation? A dream? Starting over? Leaving something that's no longer good for you? Keep that answer in your mind, because in a moment, I'm going to tell you about my own fear and how many times it lied to me. Looking back, I've realized something. Fear has lied to me more times than I can count. If fear had a resume, it would be impressive. Professional overthinker, expert in worst-case scenarios, Olympic gold medalist in making small problems feel like the end of the world. And somehow, I kept hiring it as my life coach. I've been scared of admitting I needed to change, scared of stopping drinking, scared of losing friends, scared of saying sorry, scared of starting over, scared of writing my first book, scared of launching this podcast, scared of failing, scared of what people would think. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm still scared sometimes. The difference now is I don't let fear make my decisions, because I've learned something. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that something else matters more. When I decided to stop drinking, fear immediately started talking. It said, "You're going to lose your friends. You won't fit in anymore. People won't invite you out. You'll be boring." Can I tell you something? Fear was wrong. Did I lose some people? Yes. But maybe they were only meant to be part of one chapter of my life, not the whole book. And that's okay, because when you start growing, not everyone is willing to grow with you. Some people are attached to the version of you that benefits them. But growth sometimes requires change, and change sometimes requires letting go. What I gained was far greater than what I lost. I gained peace, clarity, self-respect, better mornings, a clearer mind. Now don't get me wrong, I still wake up wondering why my back hurts after sleeping 8 hours. Apparently that's just adulthood. Nobody warned me. Then there was my book. Rise, 21 Laws of Resilience. This wasn't something I wrote overnight. It took me nearly 2 years. 2 years of writing, rewriting, deleting chapters, questioning myself, wondering if it was good enough, wondering if anyone would even read it. Fear kept asking, "Who do you think you are? What makes you qualified?" Then one day I answered that question. I'm not writing because I know everything. I'm writing because I've lived through enough to help someone else. And maybe that's you. Maybe you've been waiting until you feel qualified. Here's the truth. You'll probably never feel completely ready. If we all waited until we felt ready, nothing would ever get built. Nothing would ever get started. Sometimes you have to take the first step, then let confidence catch up. The same thing happened with this podcast. I almost didn't press record. I kept thinking, what if nobody listens? What if people judge me? What if I sound terrible? Then another question crossed my mind. What if one person needs to hear this? That question was louder than my fear. And here we are, one microphone, one conversation at a time, hopefully making a difference together. Years ago, I became fascinated by strategy. I read the 48 Laws of Power. I read The Art of War. I wanted to understand how successful people thought, how leaders made decisions, how battles were won, how influence worked. And those books taught me a lot. But life taught me something even more valuable. The greatest battle you'll ever fight isn't against another person. It isn't against your competition. It isn't against people who doubt you. It's against yourself, against your excuses, against procrastination, against your ego, against self-doubt, against fear. Because what good is learning how to conquer other people if you can't conquer the voice inside your own head? What good is mastering strategy if fear defeats you before you've even had breakfast? The hardest person I've ever had to lead was me. The hardest person I've ever had to forgive was me. The hardest person I've ever had to believe in was me. And maybe that's your battle too. Maybe you're not fighting another person. Maybe you're fighting the version of yourself that keeps saying, tomorrow, I'll start next week, when the time is right, when I have more money, when I have more confidence. Can I let you in on a secret? There will always be another excuse. There will always be another reason to wait. There will always be another Monday, another New Year's resolution, another birthday, another perfect time. But the perfect time rarely shows up. Sometimes you have to create it. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need everyone to believe in you. Sometimes the only person who needs to believe in you is you. And if you're struggling to believe in yourself right now, borrow my belief. Because I genuinely believe you're capable of more than you think. Not because life will be easy, but because I've learned that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they stop letting fear make their decisions. Before we finish today's episode, I want to leave you with one challenge. Not one of those social media challenges. I'm not asking you to dance in your kitchen or eat a spoonful of cinnamon. And please, let's not end up on the evening news. I'm trying to help you rebuild your life, not explain to your family why you thought jumping off the garage roof was personal growth. This week's challenge is simple. Do one thing that fear has been talking you out of. Just one. Maybe it's making that phone call. Maybe it's applying for that job. Maybe it's finally joining the gym. Or maybe it's taking the first step toward a dream you've been carrying around for years. Whatever it is, do it. Not because you're fearless, but because you're tired of letting fear make your decisions. I also want you to grab a notebook or open the notes on your phone. Write down one fear that's been holding you back. Then underneath it, write this question. What would my life look like if fear wasn't making this decision? Don't rush the answer. Be honest with yourself. Because sometimes, the only thing standing between the life you have and the life you want is one decision you've been avoiding. Remember what we talked about today. Fear has a microphone. Wisdom usually whispers. So this week, turn the volume down on fear and listen a little more closely to wisdom. Because every single time you choose courage over comfort, you're becoming a stronger version of yourself. Before I go, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Thank you for sharing these episodes. And thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. When I started this podcast, I honestly had no idea where it would go. I just knew I wanted to create honest conversations. Conversations that remind people they're not alone. If today's episode helped you, share it with someone. A friend, a brother, a sister, a workmate, anyone who might need to hear this today. Sometimes, one conversation can change someone's direction. And next week, we're going to talk about confidence. Not fake confidence. Not the confidence that comes from pretending you've got it all figured out. Real confidence. The kind that's built after you've been knocked down. The kind that's built after failure. The kind that's built after making mistakes and choosing to stand back up anyway. Because confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Brick by brick. Choice by choice. Day by day. I can't wait to have that conversation with you. But until then, remember this. Fear will always have an opinion. It just doesn't deserve a vote. And remember, life will knock you down. It'll test you. It'll humble you. There will be moments when you question yourself. Moments when you wonder if you're strong enough. You are. Because your job isn't to avoid being knocked down. Your job is to keep getting back up. To keep learning. To keep growing. To keep believing that your past does not define your future. Because your best chapter hasn't been written yet. I'm Henry. This has been Rise with Henry. Thank you for listening. And until next Thursday, keep rising.